Hello, welcome to this update. So now we have super intense, almost category 5 tropical cyclone Chido in the southwestern Indian Ocean. It's like a strong category 4, 250 carrier power sustained gusts. And this thing intensified so rapidly. Our last full update, it was like forecast to be a tropical storm to category 1 there, and it passed as a category 4 over that island with more than 330 people living there. So I had the initial feeling that this might rapidly intensify there because of the high sea surface temperatures and the wind shear that was quite low. So this is a reminder to everyone that these things can change very fast, and you better be prepared for anything. So let's continue with the forecast. Still a strong category 4 is forecast to pass just north of Madagascar, not over Madagascar, but like just north of it. But if you pass like a category 3 to category 4 close to the northern Madagascar, it might provide some big impacts there as well. So for example, the model shows it here approaching and shows it a little bit more disorganized, but still very strong. Might leave some heavier storms northeastern Madagascar, and they still have this as a 175 km per gust tropical cyclone as it passes through Mayotte. They have this passing right through Mayotte there, and it's just south of Comoros. Might provide more storms in the Comoros too. So really be careful in those areas. This already is Saturday, and then it does have a severe tropical storm making landfall in Mozambique there. So this is still a very serious situation for parts of northern Madagascar, but especially Mayotte and Mozambique. So please stay safe there, and prayers for anyone affected by those islands as a category 4. So please be careful in the other areas. So the model here, the GFS, does have this there now. This goes, it passes right north of Madagascar, but might leave some impacts in the northernmost portion there. So this goes, passes right through Mayotte and the Comoros as a 986 category 1. So even though it will be a category 1, it still might provide some very big impacts there in terms of heavy rain, flooding, and strong winds and waves. So please be careful. This already is still Saturday, so alright, by Saturday this will be already there, and into Sunday shows landfall in Mozambique, still a nine, still a category 1, close to 986 to 987 by the GFS, but some models might have a different. But the GFS still has a category 1 into Mozambique. They might call this a severe tropical storm, but in the hurricane scale, it's like around category 1 or something. Then this goes into Mozambique and dissipates, might leave more storms in southern Africa there later, which we'll talk about in some more Africa videos later. So let's see here. And later, just to give a recap, the GFS does show a potential tropical storm in the southern Philippines and near eastern India on the 17th. The one goes into India there, and the other one passes the Philippines into the South China Sea and dissipates there. So the GFS still has kind of that to monitor, and the European has those heavy rains happening in southern India now, so be careful there too. And it has the cyclone there, passes just north of Madagascar, but might provide some bigger storms there. Then goes and passes right through Mayotte and Comoros. The Europeans a little bit further north, passing like right over the Comoros. So if you know anybody there, please warn them that this is coming. Then this goes into Madagascar and into Mozambique, still stronger than the GFS. This will be a strong category 1, 982. Yeah, you still like moderate category 1 at landfall. Then this goes and still has like 998 over northern Mozambique. So please be careful in those areas and stay safe. Warn others in Mozambique too. And let's see another model. There's the Canadian. it has the system there, and it has this, don't focus on the strength. The Canadian is very crazy because 995, this like category 5 now, or category 4, so the Canadians is levitating on the strength. But there's the icon here, does show a little bit closer to reality, but not quite there yet. But it does show passing right like northern Madagascar, might even make a very close call to the northernmost portion there. Then it passes right over the Comoros and Mayotte, but like 1008, that's very weak. It goes into Mozambique 1007 or something. So yeah, better monitor that. But the major models like the GFS and the European are still something much stronger, like in Mayotte and Mozambique. There's the NavGen as well, shows the system there, here, and then goes and like passes northern Madagascar, and goes right through Mayotte and the Comoros, and then it does go a 994 into Mozambique there, the NavGen. So that will be still a moderate tropical storm. So please be careful those areas and stay safe there. So the first thing better talk about is the wind. So there's some very high gusts at the center of the system. This shows like 186 km per gust, the center of that. But considering the sustained winds there now are 250, so even the European model is way off on those winds. So just monitor that. Just be aware that these models aren't exact forecasts. They sometimes don't get the information so precise, so be aware. Then this goes there. There's a small island there, but I hope there isn't anybody there. And shows like northernmost Madagascar might get some higher gusts, although this will be to the north of you. You might get some higher gusts that those towns there. So be careful the waves and the wind. Later on, about Friday night or something, does show a little bit higher, 284 km per gust and 80, 73, and some areas a little bit breezier for most northern Madagascar. So be careful. This then goes there and starts going into Comoros and Mayotte. The European has still this make landfall in the Comoros as a 161 km per gusts. So this would cause some major impacts there in terms of like fallen trees, power cuts and everything. So please stay safe. And it has like 190 km per gust over that island on Saturday. This will be around Saturday night or something. So I don't think you'll be this strong, but better not underestimate it after we saw it jumping from a tropical storm to category 4 in less than 48 hours. So please just be ready there and be prepared for a very strong system. And then this goes there and shows some other islands of the Comoros, 147, 126. This goes into Sunday, passes over the other island there, close to like 170, 272 km per gust. So please stay safe in those areas. And Saturday into Sunday, this goes away and pulls into Mozambique there. So it starts going there. The European has landfall around 173, even 75 km per gust, like 177 in some areas. So please be aware in Mozambique and stay safe. I know they speak Portuguese there, I also do, so let's see. Tem essa ciclone tropical que tá vindo para Moçambique domingo. Então, esses modelos mostram categoria 1 tempestade tropical, com mais de 171 km por hora as rachas de vento e chuva muito forte. Inundações podem ocorrer nessas zonas domingo e segunda. Então, cuidado com essa tempestade tropical. Vai indo por norte de Moçambique, continua com vento forte, segunda, terça e vai embora. E mostra muita chuva, com isso mais de 170 milímetros, então cuidado. Good, so be careful there. And this still shows as it goes north of Mozambique, it's 131, still some very high gusts in some interior areas there, even as it continues into northwestern Mozambique and Malawi. BR Monday, Malawi shows some higher gusts, maybe into other parts of Mozambique again. So please stay safe there. There's now the GFS shows this goes there. It barely shows the strength of the gusts that the European model showed. So the GFS is more conservative on the wind gusts, but it does have some higher gusts at the tip of Madagascar there, far into Saturday. This goes the GFS passing right over Mayotte instead of the Comoros, but it will also provide impacts in the Comoros, some 75 km per gusts and more there. But Mayotte shows 104, 103 km per gust, so please be careful there. Stay safe. Some fallen trees, the waves and everything, so be careful. I know there and Madagascar you speak mostly French. I don't speak French yet, but there's some links in the description with some weather sites there, so check that and stay safe. Please be careful. And let's see, the GFS keeps this going there and does momentarily provide some higher gusts in the central Comoros as well, to almost 90, some 88, some 86 km per gust Saturday. This goes and does have landfall Mozambique close to like 90 to 100 km per gust. So the European like 171 km per gust. The GFS is just 97. So depending on how this goes, it might play differently. It might not be as strong as the European is showing, it might be more like this, but you never know, especially after what happened, they strengthened so quickly. So this goes, there's still some higher gusts in some interior areas later on Sunday, so be careful there. This goes and like dissipates. So stay safe. There's the icon too, shows this there, starts going, and those areas in northern Madagascar especially, the icon shows some more interior areas too, some 86 km per gust, some 85, other some 88 in the north. So be careful. Friday into Saturday, the icon does have this coming in closer, almost 112 km per gust northern Madagascar. So please be careful. This might go the way of the European, the GFS, that shows this further away from Madagascar and lower gusts, but this also might go the way of the icon. So just be aware there and stay safe. So this goes and like weakens a little bit before Mayotte, but still provides some gustier conditions there. But the icon is weakening this too much there. It might not be that weak as it passes through Mayotte. So be careful those areas. Now the rainfall, the most, even more important, the wind, because flooding can claim more lives. So it does show the northeastern coast of Madagascar, some higher totals there, some 74 millimeters, some 45 in the north, but especially along the northeastern coast there, be careful. And shows more like out in the ocean, so crazy, but in Comoros and those areas to like 95, some 89, Mayottes, some heavy rains as well. But this is like weaker as the icon is showing. Depends on the models, some 91, 97 parts of Mayotte, and Mayotte northern Comoros, and does show this going to Mozambique still with more than 100 millimeters, even 131, 98, 99. So be careful in those areas, later maybe into Malawi. So please be careful with flooding, some rivers and everything. The European does have northeastern Madagascar, so some 103, 197. So this will provide some heavier downpours northeastern Madagascar, and yeah, those areas. And does show the Europeans more to central Comoros instead of Mayotte. It does have some storms in Mayotte as well, and more like some northern areas of Comoros, but more only and some areas there almost to 160 millimeters, 162. So please be careful. This might cause a lot of flooding in some areas. but this goes there into Mozambique, shows like some 140 at the coast close to 100, in other parts 116. Northern Mozambique, be careful with flooding after this goes into Malawi there, some higher totals, so be careful. But if you see the GFS, it does have this further south in the Comoros. So the European had like 160 in Moroni, the GFS 160 in the Central Island. So it's hard to predict exactly where the worst of the rain will go. But if you are in any of those areas, just be prepared and stay safe. Shows some 166 in those islands there, 150. So please be careful. And some storms in Mayotte as well. It does have this going to Mozambique, close to 163, 164, like 151. So be careful with flooding there too. In other parts of northern Mozambique, shows the downpours in northern Madagascar there. So stay safe in those areas, please. And like just the wind and the rain, but also the storm surge shows those very high waves to northern Madagascar, some 3 meter, even to 4 meter, depending on the strength even more. The Europeans a similar thing, so be careful. Some high waves. And the seas, especially to the small islands of Mayotte and Comoros, might be some more storm surge danger, some 4.5 meters. This goes there. The European has choose some high waves, and to Mozambique a little bit as well. So stay safe in those areas, and please be careful there. And now, some other areas, the European. So does show where's the 12C. So shows there the disturbance in India, some heavy rains there. In southern Thailand, very wet still, but the European does have almost a bob of tropical depression near southern India on the 16, but that's too disorganized. I don't think it shows development. But another disturbance into India with more rain, and does have a close to tropical storm in the Philippines, but it's showing weaker now, showing like less than tropical depression with some heavy rain in the northern Philippines. And that shows some systems near northern Australia, but not like there, shows further away from land. But just be careful in the meantime, the heavy rains in some other parts of Southeast Asia. So the Canadian has Chido there, this coast, and it has like the disturbance in India. It does have a tropical storm in the Philippines, southern Philippines, about the 16th, and it goes there, and it goes all the way, dives through the South China Sea into Malaysia, and still kind of survives. So better watch that area later as well. So be careful. Like the rain shows those heavy rains there. So the rain accumulation from today until Tuesday shows still in Vietnam some heavier totals to 281, 255, 175. So still be careful, especially with flooding, because that area has been really saturated with the rainfall. So please be careful into southern Vietnam as well, and Cambodia, some more storms in Cambodia. In southern Thailand, those areas there, almost 268 millimeters, 234, 248. So please be careful with flooding. Some cities there, like even street flooding, some urban flooding, and more like river flooding. So stay safe. Shows into northern Malaysia, some more there, especially northeastern Malaysia. And northern Sumatra, some heavier downpours in some areas there, central northern Sumatra. And yeah, but be careful, especially in Thailand and Vietnam, with the flooding, and even the Andaman and Nicobar Islands showing close to 183 millimeters, 154. So stay safe there. Shows more like the northern Philippines. The Europeans still with this idea of those heavy downpours, northeastern Philippines, 200 millimeters, 151, and shows more like 226. So be careful, because the eastern Philippines, some areas of 100 millimeters, and the southern Philippines, there'll be the surge of moisture close to 204 millimeters, 188. So be careful with some heavy rains and flooding there too. More than 144 in Palau next 5 days. So be careful. But if I put this just until Sunday, shows way less there. So only the next 2 days and Sunday shows close to 100 millimeters in some areas there, but shows way less. But only until Sunday that it already shows a bunch in Vietnam. So be careful there, and especially in Thailand with the flooding. But if I increase this until Tuesday, shows more in the Philippines already. So this is distributed throughout 5 days. It won't fall all in one day, but be careful. It might be too much for some areas. Central Indonesia, those heavier downpours into Brunei. The European has some more hotspots of rain there. And thunderstorms in Java is very busy into southern Sumatra, but mainly in Java there's some 142, so some very like heavy tropical downpours and the islands nearby. So be careful to southwestern Java, 185, 160. So stay safe there. More downpours in Sumatra, Kalimantan, and some areas there. Shows some areas right through central Indonesia, some heavy downpours as well. So be careful. For example, now in the satellite does show those scary downpours, those stronger storms might have some heavy rain. Shows in Thailand and some parts of southernmost Myanmar there happening now. So be careful. Now the GFS for this, it also has some big amounts northeastern Malaysia and like southern Thailand. Be careful there, especially like those areas of southern Thailand. 300 meters the GFS, all the way to 300 the next 5 days, 199. But it has some eyes there, like Binh Lamai, some areas Bang Lamai shows all the way to 380. I think this is too much, but if this happened, there is some major flooding concerns. So please be mindful, monitor the forecast there. Southernmost Myanmar, in more to central southern Thailand. So please be careful along that stretch of southern Thailand, northeastern Malaysia, and Sumatra and the Andaman Islands in some areas. Be careful there too. And the GFS does have the system approaching the Philippines there. The southern Philippines has the eastern Philippines some more too, close to 118 or even more, and some more spots there. But it doesn't have as much as the European, the northern Philippines, and more across Java and near Timor and north areas, some heavier totals. Where's the GFS? Here. So industrial like 178, some islands there, more in Java, Western Guinea. So be careful those areas. Now the icon has a similar thing too, some heavy rains there, especially Thailand and Malaysia, and it has way less into Vietnam. It's just like 112 in some areas, but you never know. The other models are showing a lot there. The GFS in Vietnam doesn't have as much as the European, but like has 223 in some areas, some are like 132. So stay safe there too. Please be careful with flooding. And southern India until the 17th shows some 78 millimeters, some 83, some 76. So be careful there. Southernmost India too, and the Maldives, and like the some other islands there, and Sri Lanka. And yeah, be aware some more tropical downpours, but the European does show more widespread through southern India, some like 118, 93, some 69. So be aware those downpours northern Sri Lanka and southern India. Some tropical showers, thunderstorms in the Maldives, and more there those islands near India. So be aware, a little bit of showers on the east coast as well, but nothing that crazy. And Taiwan shows a storm or two, some showers especially across the east, and some showers the southern islands of Japan, and some heavy rain in Micronesia and Palau. So stay safe in those areas. Be aware of some more bumpy seas near Taiwan and China and Vietnam and some areas there. Even the Philippines sometimes a little bit breezier, and in India kind of breezier in the Bay of Bengal some days, but nothing that crazy. And yeah, some tropical temperatures there, nothing that crazy, but like sometimes a little bit cooler tonight, northern Laos in some areas, and even to India arise some 10 degrees at night. But in the south during the day, still some like 27, even 30. And yeah, BR, but nothing crazy. So stay safe with that tropical cyclone, and please stay safe and warn others. And if you put this until the 22nd, alright, it shows more the disturbances across India. But as time goes on, we'll take a look at those other ones. So stay safe.